A lot of people are not giving Andy Ruiz the proper credit. I mean, but he has a lot of experience, power, and speed. I think it's going to be a good fight for the fight fans. He brings a lot to the table, and of course, Anthony Joshua. I mean, he's the full package. And, he's tall, he has the height advantage, the reach, and I mean, he's very talented himself. I think we're going to see a great fight, Ricardo.
Yesterday we went to the training camp with Andy Ruiz. Man, this guy, he has a lot of speed, especially speed, man. I think speed and power. I think he can give a big surprise this Saturday night.
I mean, people shouldn't underestimate, any fighter because in boxing anything could happen. But we do know what he's up against, and that's the reason why we're so, excited to see this fight happen.
British invasion. You got UK fighters versus American fighters, and it's unfortunate that this is a Joshua week. But then other news broke with Wilder fighting Ortiz, Fury saying you don't want to fight White. Do you feel like that's a strategic mindset of them trying to take over his exposure this week for Joshua in terms of Fury and Wilder trying to take spotlight from Anthony Joshua?
It can be, but no matter what, Anthony Joshua is one of the most popular fighters in the world at the current moment, and it's not going to take any attention away. I mean, yeah, we see that Wilder is fighting in his next fight with the rematch against Ortiz, but we acknowledge it, and we go right back to Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. I mean, let's not forget that Anthony Joshua maintains and holds the 3 belts of the heavyweight division, the IBF, the WBO, and the WBA. And of course, I mean, we have other terrific fighters, such as Wilder, who has the WBC world title. But I think that this is what, grabs our attention, is knowing what's the competition like in the heavyweight division. And the competition that we see right now coming up next is Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua, which everyone should tune in because I think a lot of people may get surprised by a fighter that they don't know much of in Andy Ruiz. And that's what boxing is all about.
Right.
Just like when Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson, it was a surprise of the year. No one expected that to happen. Anything can happen in the heavyweight division, and that's exactly why everyone's going to tune in to the Zone. And if you want to see it in Spanish, tune into the Spanish broadcast. We're going to have Ricardo Celis, myself, as a Spanish broadcasters. We're going to give it to you straight, how we see it. That's what boxing's about. Right. Not just shoe-shining some, one fighter, but just knowing and acknowledging what are the pros and cons in both fighters' tactic.
I think everybody wants to see the fight, especially Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, the unifications of the heavyweight title. But I think Anthony Joshua first needs to step against Andy Ruiz, and I think, in my humble opinion, that Andy Ruiz is going to be a very, very big step for Anthony Joshua. It's going to be a big opponent.
A good test.
Yeah, a good test.
Good test, and which we have the big fight not lined up, but we both know that right now, the fighter that will win this Saturday night will be looking forward to fighting against Wilder, to add up the WBC title to their legacy. But Wilder already has, a fight coming up, so everything's a toss-up right now.
One thing that intrigues me about you, Jessie, was you call the fight right where it is. You're fair. You say what it is, right? And when we talk about predictions, right, you got me by surprise when Pacquiao beat Broner. There was a quote you said to me. Manny Pacquiao can turn Adrian Broner into a punching bag, and that's literally what happened. Now, in regards to Pacquiao, do you think he could do the same thing with Keith Thurman, or he's got to switch it up a little bit with a Keith Thurman? I know you wanted to fight him back then, but what's your take on that fight?
Well, when I see the Keith Thurman fight against Manny Pacquiao, I see an entertaining matchup. It's you have speed versus power. That's what it's like. But Manny has the experience. That just might just elevate his game when it comes to comparing both fighters. The experience and the speed and the agility that he has is going to bring problems to Keith Thurman. What do you think about that fight?
Man, I think Manny Pacquiao, he just showed, man, year after year that he's been a champion in 8 different divisions, which is the only fighter who has done that.
He's a phenomenal fighter.
He is
at 40 years old, Ricardo.
Yeah.
40 years old, he's still able to perform at the highest level.
I agree, man. I think he's a favorite against Keith Thurman. Yeah?
I agree 100%. But it's going to be a good matchup either way. And the fight fans are going to see a good fight.
It's good to have you at 154, Jessie. A lot of things are just pieces have been moving around. I just want to get your reactions. J-Rock defeating Hurd. Like, I didn't even see that one come. I'll be honest.
I wanted that fight, man, against Jared Hurd. He's a good fighter. And that's why I wanted it, because I knew that we can give a great matchup to the fight fans. Now we'll see what we can do. Who else is out there in the 154-pound division? Maybe J-Rock, if he's up to it. Also, I mean, Jaime Mujia is another name that's being mentioned, and several others. You know, I'm excited to be a part of this super welterweight division. It's a stacked division as well, and
Hopefully
it's
in
a good time for
September.
boxing.
Hopefully in September we
I
can
can't
see.
wait. That's right, and on the
Jessie
zone.
Vargas again. Yeah.
And on the zone, so everybody subscribe. You know, we are definitely putting on great shows here, about 100 fights per year. You know, and for a great price. You know, for all them boxing fans, you need to. Hopefully, you know, accept my words and take me up on the offer. You know, subscribe now. We're gonna have some great fights. You have Anthony Joshua, you have Canelo, myself, Devin Haney. I mean, the list goes on and on.
No, definitely. We want everybody to tune in to the zone this Saturday to watch the fight, Andy Ruiz versus Anthony Joshua. You can listen in Spanish, you can listen in English, anywhere you want, but I think it's going to be a great fight.